world where every girl growing up knows deep inside her soul that her voice matters. A world where her dreams aren't silenced by poverty, dimmed by tradition, or dismissed by stereotypes, but rather amplified by opportunity, nurtured by education, and fueled by unshakable confidence. Right now, more girls are sitting in classrooms, they're building companies, they're leading revolutions, they're reshaping the future. They're reshaping the future in science, in politics, art, and technology. Even so, still, millions more are forced into child marriage, silenced by violence and discrimination. But the reality is, these girls are being held back by cultures that whisper, stay small, be quiet. But the truth is, girls are not waiting for the future. They are the future. And girls are leading right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. They are leading right now as we sit here. And every time you lift up one girl, you don't only change their lives, you break the chains of generational poverty. We're able to build stronger families, schools, communities, and economies. We're able to start a ripple effect that helps to transform not only their world, but ours as well. But today I want to talk to you about something unstoppable, something untamed, a force that is undeniable, and that is girl power. Now, the first time I heard about girl power, it was when I was in high school, and a phenomenon hit the UK. The Spice Girls charged onto the scene unapologetically. At that time, only boy bands were being signed. Boy bands were topping the charts, selling out everywhere. So record labels were not happy to sign girl bands because they thought they wouldn't sell. But the Spice Girls were so inspiring. They were so loud, they were unapologetic, they were breaking down doors, saying what they want. They showed us ladies that we can also be bold. I was so inspired by them. And even though I wasn't even a confident singer, they helped me to feel confident enough to be in a girl band myself for many, many years in my 20s. And their message reached all around the world. They came in here charging, breaking down doors, smashing records. They took over the whole world with their message of girl power. Now, they were not politicians, they were not professors, but their message was revolutionary. They taught us that femininity is not a weakness, it is power. Yes. To me, girl power means confidence. Being able to walk into a room, talk to anybody, stand in front of a room full of people. It means choice. As a woman, being able to make your own choice without anybody's influence. And also the courage to dream unapologetically. Girl power means a girl, a small girl in a small town somewhere, who is not afraid to hold up her hand and speak. It is a woman who is starting a business, who is able to make decisions without permission. But then I asked myself, how can a girl, a young girl, dare to dream of such girl power when she cannot even afford the simple thing of a sanitary pad? She has to miss school for an entire week, every single month, because she cannot afford a sanitary pad. How is she going to keep up in school? We all know that parents are a very natural part for every girl. But if she cannot access or be able to buy a simple thing as a sanitary pad, how is she going to keep up with the other boys in the class? How will she be able to keep up with her male peers and also have the best chance at life, just as they do? So we partnered with the Florence Mercer Foundation because at the end of the day, it was very important to us to spread real empowerment through action. We had a lot of NGOs who contacted us, who would buy pads and they would buy one or two and give them to these girls in these impoverished areas. But then I asked myself, what happens after month 2? Does this girl go back to missing school again? What happens after that? It just wasn't impactful enough. So we decided to do the 1,000 Girls Project, which was more sustainable and made sure that to make sure that these girls have consistent access to these sanitary pads. And we gave them a year's supply, 1,000 girls, a year's supply of sanitary pads. Because we understand that every girl deserves to have dignity, an opportunity. She deserves the chance to show up and to be able to try her best to also achieve her dreams and make her dreams into a reality. The same as the boys. Every girl deserves to feel the full force of her power. But it wasn't just about a pad. It had to be a good quality pad. We've all heard stories about pads that girls have used and they get rashes and they leak and are embarrassed in front of their classrooms. Lots of girls don't even go to school because they are so embarrassed because they are leaking. So we had to make sure that the pad was of high quality because these girls deserve to feel good and comfortable at that time of the month. And affordability also is very, very, very crucial, especially in these impoverished areas. We all know that period poverty was on a rise last year because pads were so expensive. People could not afford them. So we had to make sure that according to the way we live in this country, we know that Africa is very, very difficult and economic hardship is grand, massive. So we had to make sure that at least we can make it affordable for these girls. The important things are 3 things that we have to look at, like I said. The product being good quality so these girls can feel good at that time of the month. Pricing so that it's accessible to every girl. And education. We went to educate all these young girls there, but we also have to educate the boys. The boys also have to understand the journey that a girl goes through when it comes to menstruation, so that they can respect the girls, they can support the girls, so that we can all have a balance. Boy power is very, very important, just as much as girl power. So the boys also have to join in to support these girls, so we can have a balance. Because let's face it, we need the masculine and we need the feminine for us to thrive. We all need to learn from each other and support each other so that we can move forward in the best way possible in life. But unfortunately, period poverty actually runs a lot deeper than that. When we went to the schools, we heard so many stories, devastating stories about girls who had to give up their dignity for something as simple as a sanitary pad. Girls were sleeping with boys so that the boys would buy them a sanitary pad. To me, that is just making the situation worse. I'm sure you can agree. What happens when she sleeps with this boy? What are the consequences? Just for a single pad, a girl will sleep with a boy for a single sanitary pad, a necessity, something that is needed, not by choice, is human nature that has called upon this girl to become a woman, and she needs a pad. She has her period, she needs a pad. So when she gets with this boy, what if she gets pregnant? Or she catches STIs because she needs a sanitary pad? Then the whole cycle continues. It continues on, and we're back again because we cannot give these poor girls access to a simple, necessary thing as a sanitary pad. But we need to support the African girl, because if we are able to give her the tools to take care of her body and protect herself, she will have the tools to protect her future. We need government support. We need community support. We need the families to support us. And we need to open more doors for these girls. We need to build platforms where they can thrive with success and not just survive. This is what we call girl power. And thankfully, the 1,000 Girls Project was a huge success. We were able to donate to over 1,000 girls 1 year's supply of sanitary pads. And all the girls who were missing school before, we were actually informed by their head teachers that they were now attending school. This is what we call empowerment. And now these girls feel empowered. They feel like they don't have to rely on boys to buy themselves a pad. They can stand tall knowing that girl power is not just a phrase. It's real. And sometimes it just starts with something small, like a sanitary pad. And they can show up now with confidence. They can focus on their studies. They can dream, they can succeed, they can achieve, they can dare to dream without apology. We can all agree that if you empower the African girl, she is reminded that she matters, that she belongs, she is powerful, she can. This is what we call girl power. And every pad we give to every girl says, you matter, you belong, you are capable, you are seen, you are unstoppable. Your well-being is our #1 priority because you deserve the best. And to every girl out there, I would just like to say that you are powerful and it's time to own your power as a girl because you are immensely powerful and this is girl power. And when one girl rises, of course, we all rise. The sky is not the limit, it's only the beginning. Thank you.